The Springboks were taken through their paces at training ahead of their second Nations Championship match against Scotland, scheduled for Loftus on Saturday. This is an opportunity for Coach Rassie Erasmus to blood even more experience into the side with the Rugby World Cup in mind in what will be the 31st test between South Africa and the Scots.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Wilco, can you tell me about the very first time you went to Loftus to watch any game at all and why this stadium is so special?
Yeah, obviously after school I went to the Bulls, and that was my first contract. And the first game that I watched was the Bulls versus the Stormers in the Super Rugby, and yes, the vibe was just incredible. And obviously I was so excited joining the Bulls, and it became home for me at that stage in my life. And yeah, there's an incredible history at Loftus, not just for the Bulls, but as well for the Springboks. And yeah, it's always an incredible vibe when we're there. The fans just make it absolutely incredible, and yeah, just the history that we have there makes it even more special.
Yeah, it does. We're up against quite a quality Scotland side.
Yeah,
you know, they've really come in leaps and bounds over the years. Great, a better Six Nations as well, especially their victory over England.
Yeah.
What kind of challenge are you expecting from them at scrum time?
Yeah, I think obviously they've got a really good pack. Pierre, who's a South African boy who always scrums really well, and them as a pack, they played really well against Argentina. Their forwards dominated the general play. They scored quite a few tries going through them. So I think it'll be a tough game as always. Like you said, Scotland in the Six Nations, they did really well, and yeah, I think it's going to just be a bit of a more physical game than normal. I think they would want to have a good scrum and maul, and yeah, I think they want to keep the ball. So I think it'll be a tough game as always. It's international rugby. There's never an easy game. So yeah, I think it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, when you walk through that tunnel, there's that announcement. I think it's 1,500.
Yeah, 1,300 and something, yeah.
1,300 and something, it will be our number for today. Altitude matters, but how do you make that altitude matter? What kind of pressure would you need to put on Scotland for it to really kick in, poison, and dismantle them?
Yeah, obviously if I take it to the Bulls, play there this season, and I think obviously you need to keep the pressure on them. It depends on how they handle it and what their plans is to get around it. Obviously, it's international rugby, so teams are really well conditioned. You can't say there's any international team that's not really well conditioned. Obviously, they'll prep for it. They know it's at altitude, and at the end of the day, it's another rugby game, and everyone is going to give it their all. And yeah, if the altitude can get us for the same reason. So yeah, I think it's how you manage it, and obviously how hard you want to go with it.
Ahosi will allow me to ask you one more question. From the presser, you spoke so beautifully about your dad, and not just in the loss, but also in what you've gained in the memories with him and the role he played in your life and in your rugby life in particular. If he were here ahead of this first test where you will be without him, what do you think he'd say to you? How would he motivate you for this one?
I know exactly. Obviously, my rugby memory starts from a very, very young age with friends and with him, and the love that he brought into my life with rugby. And the biggest thing for him always was I have to enjoy it. It's obviously a massive honor, but I always called him and my mom before a game, and the only thing he always says is please enjoy it. Like, if you enjoy it, you'll do well. And so yeah, that's the thing I'll remember always. He wanted me to enjoy it, and at the end of the day, that's why we do this, to enjoy it. And yeah, so that's the thing I'll always take with me from him.
Enjoy it and do well on Saturday.
Thank
you very much. When you said Baskeram, you said like
Yeah,
Soto man. You happy? All right, let's go. I want to talk a little bit about your different roles in the team. Perfect utility in terms of all the positions you can cover. How do you prepare and like, you know, what does it take technically to be astute at every single position?
Yeah, I think we, like I said previously, we are well prepared. You know, coaches know how to get certain reps done in team trainings. You know when to swap in and move different pieces that you're well comfortable in different roles you have to play, and knowing the detail as well. So I think we have the good balance in how we train in different roles and make sure we understand what we need to do in different positions, and yeah, do your job, I guess.
Can you share with me which one you like the most?
Yeah, I think the one I get most excited about is when playing 13. Obviously closer to the ball and a lot more involved than in the play, and yeah, it's a very different role to wing. But yeah, it's like I enjoy wing as well. The high balls and being on the edge and trying to get involved in this game as well, and being a bit more free to play around and see where you can get involved. But yeah, I think the big thing is probably now on as the wings are chasing high balls. So I think it's something I really do enjoy.
Let's speak a bit about that, the aerial contest. That's become the real big mission of every single wing in the world. And I remember your first test try against Australia, also playing on the wing, beautiful take, and then step, and there's your try with the whole team coming in to celebrate with you. How has the contest evolved since? And it feels like it hasn't been a long time, just 4 years, but there's been quite the change in how it works right now. How's it changed for you, and how are you adapting?
Yeah, even prior to that, I've never caught high balls in my career. Obviously, just playing my first year of senior rugby that year, and then I still remember coming back from camp and just trying to improve that. Throwing myself high balls and trying to figure it out. And yeah, back then it was obviously the glove system where teams would run back and off, escort and protect the guy at the back or the fullback or whoever's catching from the back. And now obviously that's gone with the rule change. Now it's a clear contest with the cover and the wing. But yeah, like you saw this weekend, teams have different tactics now on how they go about that, and I think we have to adapt and make sure we are prepared for that, and I think we've done that well, with the game against England. So yeah, I think we still have a job to do as wingers to get into that contest and make sure we try win that ball back.
Thank you for joining us. Have a good